Hi, I'm back, and I never thought I'd say those words, but I am. And I'm back on social media, back on the YouTubes, and I'm gonna be back on Twitter. And I might also dare to make a little TikTok account, who knows. But yeah, I'm back on social media because I want to have social media presence, especially because of the novel that I'm writing. So I know that in the last video I said that I would stop YouTube because of going into teaching, which I think was a really good idea because I can't really bear the thought of like my students like finding my YouTube channel. Not that it's something bad or anything, but it's just that they wouldn't see me as like the teacher anymore, and that might cause some problems. But I made it through the year without at least me knowing that they found me online. Now the year's over, so I'm allowing myself to go back onto social media as I did before. So because of my novel, the channel is really primarily going to focus on the process of novel writing and editing, and then very soon hopefully querying and publishing. I hope. So yeah, this is I'm going to be making more videos like updates, also just for myself, for my future self to look back on. Right now what I'm working on is a YA portal fantasy or contemporary fantasy that I've been working on for years. It's been really long, and I wanted to send it out for agents last summer, and then I realized that I needed more beta readers, more critique partners, so I did that. And then the teaching year came and I found absolutely no more time to work on it. I did NaNoWriMo in, or NaNoWriMo if you want to call it that. I did that in November and I wrote 0 words for it because I didn't find the time or energy to do so. So this year has been very unproductive in that sense. And I've been off work for maybe like a bit more than 2 weeks. And I've done more revising and editing and writing than I have probably in the whole school year. So that's scary, but also kind of cool. I don't know. So I really hope that I'm going to get to the querying phase soon. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to link my blog down below, and there you'll see all my projects, including the one that I'm talking about right now, Dreaming, which is right on the top because it's the most edited, the most like critiqued, and yeah, I'm right now preparing the querying phase, which is very scary for like a perfectionist like me. Like doing an email and getting the start right and just being able to bring in the reader from the first sentence is really intimidating, but also very exciting. I love doing it. And yeah, so I'm prepping the query letter and then also the synopsis, which is also a lot of fun to do. And I'm hoping to send out the first queries in August. So that's me saying that. But yeah, if you look on the blog as well, I have loads of other projects that I'm working on as well, including some that are also like much longer than my main project right now. And I hope that I can get something from it in the end, that it's not just a file in my laptop for me to read, that it is also for other people to read and people who actually want to read it. That's the hook. So I'll cut in a video of last year and talking also about the same project, but before I had a lot of critique partners look at it. It's really cool how the books change after you get critiqued on it or you get better readers, and I just love seeing the transformation of scenes changing, scenes being deleted, scenes being added. So yeah, it's really exciting, and I hope to take you all along with me, and hopefully it'll be worth it. There's always a self-publishing route, am I right? Okay, well, see you next time. I'm at the very beginning of the phase of sending off query letters, and basically this is just to document the process of querying it. So I'm really excited and also very terrified because this novel has been in the works for longer than I would like to admit. And it's been sitting in my folder for years waiting for me to finally send it off, which I've been procrastinating on because I'm terrified, because I know once I send it to the literary, which I really want to have, then there's no turning back, there's no resending, even though I know that the first 2 chapters aren't going to change that much.
Are you sure about that?
And I'm a perfectionist, so I keep reading through them, getting annoyed by them, changing up things, never satisfied, so that also doesn't help. But yeah, so I'm going to document this process, starting with today, where I'm going to go through my synopsis and also reread my first 3 chapters, which are the ones that I'm going to be sending off. Then, of course, I need to really do the final drafts of the emails, which is one of the more daunting parts, even though it's so short. Maybe because it's so short. And then I'm hoping at some point in this week that I'll finally send off the first batch. So I'm thinking of like 3 or 4 agents, and then using the coming weeks to draft other emails to other agents and also go through the whole novel, because if I do get a response and a request for the whole manuscript, as I say in the email, the manuscript is ready. I really need to have that on point. And so yeah, today we're the 5th of July, 2021. It might be pertinent to say the very year, because I don't know how long this will take. I think it's going to take a long time. And I really hope that next year, next semester, because I'm still at uni, won't be that crazy, because I'm gonna have to balance both this and work and studies. So it's going to be pretty rough. Okay, so update. I have gone through my first 3 chapters, reading them from end to start, which isn't very conventional, but it really allowed me to see that towards the ending, things were worded in ways that I didn't like, so I changed those. And of course, I also noticed that the more I was coming to the start of the novel, the less I was actually changing. And I'm not sure if I'm really happy with everything, but all in all, I think I tend to imagine it being worse than it actually is. What I think I should probably also do is just have like a layout to really remember like what information we have about each and every character and what each of those characters' backstory is. I know that I have a document really made just for every single character and what we know and what we don't know about their backstory, and so I'm gonna really use that to continue working on it. What I also remembered while editing is that I actually did send this to people to proofread, and that's also a big factor in how long it takes to get all this done, especially just the querying itself, is waiting for feedback. So I've given it to friends, family, and even someone who had worked in the publishing industry before. So those are things, of course, that depend on other people, and yeah, that's about the biggest issue that's on my mind right now. So basically I'm just working on this in hopes that while I'm working on it, I will get feedback. And again, that's another problem, is that while I'm working on changing and editing my first 3 chapters, the chapters that I had sent to these people is now irrelevant in some ways, not in most ways, but in some ways it's changed, so it gets more difficult to comprehend the feedback, especially if it's very detailed. So these are the main issues going on right now. So I want to do an update video. A couple of days now. Yes. I decided to go through the writer's guide of 2021, and thankfully I got reminded that, hey, proofreading by other people, critic partners exist. I am, as of now, delaying yet again querying my novel because I'm now relying on internet strangers to actually not only read at least the first chapter, but actually give constructive criticism on it. And that may just be the hardest feat I have done so far. I'm really impatient at this point because I was so excited. I have all my emails ready, all my querying emails, synopsis is ready. I formatted everything, and now I have this huge setback, which is not a setback, it's just a stop in the tracks. And so I think that my first query letters, I'm going to send them out in August. So yesterday I was freaking out because I thought that it would take years for somebody to respond. There's so many comments, and not only just like tweaks that I need to like correct, but actually like including the parts that they liked. Sorry, I'm close to tears right now. But yeah, even the small swears, like they feel like a little stab in your heart because like this is my baby book, and people are reading it and they have no idea who's behind it. It's terrifying. But yeah, you gotta let your baby fly at some point. It's really scary, but also exciting. And for every comment, you know, it's not even like a negative or mean comment. It's just a critique and it makes sense. And every critique I get is good because I can correct it and it'll be better. This is gonna be quite the journey, let me tell you. See you next time.